Are you serious? Are you serious? Excuse me, I'm battling a very bad cold. Very bad cold. Rebels are now pounding the Ukrainian troops. We have information, the peace talks, there were some peace discussions between the Ukrainian army and Russia. Although Russia says they're not involved in what's going on in Ukraine, it's Putin who has to keep, the negotiations continue with Russia. We all know Russia is behind the whole uprising. If Russia pulls away and goes away, the eastern Ukrainian people stop fighting. They're caught in the middle here. Yes, there is some pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine, but this is all being conjured up by the Russians. Well, here's what's going on. Separatist rockets streaked across the hills in eastern Ukraine today as rebels pounded positions of the Ukrainian government troops holding a strategic rail town while both sides pressed ahead with mobilizing more forces for combat. The Kiev military said 5 more Ukrainian soldiers were killed in clashes, while municipal authorities in the big rebel-controlled city of Donetsk said 15 civilians were killed at the weekend by shelling in a surge of violence following the collapse of a new peace effort on Saturday. So everything is falling apart there. And because of this, they continue the mobilization. We know that right now Russia has 9,000 new troops they just put into Crimea and hundreds of tanks. They're getting in position to make a move into eastern Ukraine. They already have mercenaries and some soldiers have been there. They're supplying the pro-separatist rebels with everything they need. They're outgunning the Ukrainian government. So we have another report now. I want to thank Burke McGill, and I also want to thank My Peace is Jesus, as well as Troy of North Carolina. Also, I want to thank Mike Dell and many others for some really good research this morning. But President Barack Obama is reconsidering sending lethal assistance to Ukraine, according to a senior administration official said today, but continues to have concerns about taking that step even. This official, who requested anonymity to speak because the person wasn't authorized to talk publicly about the internal deliberations, says that the president is worried about starting a proxy war with Russia, and that he's also concerned about the Ukrainian military capacity for effectively using high-powered weaponry. In other words, they can't handle it. The official said Obama worries that no amount of arming the Ukrainians would put them on par with the Russian military power. The U.S. accuses Russia of supplying the pro-Kremlin separatists that are stirring the instability in eastern Ukraine. The official said that the recent escalation of violence in eastern Ukraine has caused the White House to take a fresh look at lethal aid options, but that the U.S. supplies the Ukrainian military only with non-lethal assistance such as gas masks and radar technology to detect incoming fire. A decision on escalating aid is not imminent, the official cautioned, and this person said that Obama would want to first discuss this issue with European leaders, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel. She's scheduled to visit Washington next week. Secretary of State John F. Kerry is scheduled to travel to Kiev, Ukraine this week on Thursday to meet with Ukrainian officials. So the drums of war already, the Middle East, with ISIS, with Russia supporting Assad, with Iran fueling Hezbollah and ISIS and Hamas. All of this, the turmoil of the overthrow of the president of Yemen and a new government. There is no government. It's lawlessness in Yemen. The fact that Saudi Arabia's King Abdullah died and the new King Salman has stepped up Sharia law. 5 people have been beheaded since he took over, and he has fired half the cabinet and is asserting his power, more ruthless. While these are going on, we have this situation in Ukraine, which, if you read the Bible, you see the aggressiveness also of Turkey's prime minister, saying that the Israelis are going to swim in their own blood. We know that Iran wants to build nukes and wants to blow away Israel. We know that Obama is trying to do some kind of appeasement negotiation with Iran, along with the other superpower nations. Folks, we don't need a European proxy war between America and Russia being fought in Ukraine, and we don't need a Middle East caliphate, a Muslim caliphate, to march toward Jerusalem, slaughtering innocent Christians in Iraq and Syria. So what's happening here? And then Japan just had their citizens' heads cut off by ISIS, threatening them. We are looking at an almost replay of World War II, except the fascism of Hitler has been replaced with the anti-Semitism of ISIS. But it's the same thing. Hatred for the Jews, hatred for Christians. Remember, 6 million Jews were slaughtered in World War II, and 2 million Christians were murdered as well. Same old demons, different uniforms, same old devils. But this time, it's building. Ezekiel 38 is getting in position. All the players are involved. Russia, Iran, Turkey, Libya. They're all involved now. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time.